So you've just had 3 in a row from that spot and it's gone dead. So next plan, you've moved further down the bank.
Well, when I saw that fish top we casting and I had 3 and each time it wanted water a minute. So what we must have done is cast into the shoal of fish, and then I've gone 2 or 3 casts. I've not had a liner or anything. So what I'm done now, I'm going 2 yards that way.
Yeah.
Further down, just to see if they've moved, because I think they'll have just backed away.
But no feed.
But no feed, because I caught them 3 with no feed.
Yeah.
But I'm going to keep feeding out there, and it'll get to a stage where I'll keep casting where I've been feeding, because the moment they come onto the feed, then you're on that for rest at match.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to do now is locate where they've gone. Now they might come towards me, but they don't usually, they normally back off.
So in a match scenario, for the thinking angler, this is all bonus stuff, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, but that's winter fishing.
Yeah. But the pleasure angler can do this as well.
Exactly the same. No, it's no different, and that's one of the reasons why I have a bit. The bomb is so I can cast it in different spots and different areas, and I'm just sat there looking for the fish, trying to locate them. It's winter fishing, it's the location of fish.
But this to me is all about working all the time. It's not about sitting on a seat box in a static position waiting for it to happen. This is about making it happen.
You're making it happen, and this is why I have no clip on.
Yeah.
Now I know most will have been brought up with no clips, and I appreciate that. But if I had a clip on, you're taking it off all the time to cast and everything. You can't fish that way, because winter fishing is, all I'm interested in is locating the fish.
Yeah.
Once I've located the fish, usually they're not difficult to catch.
Now one point we haven't covered, and I think it's quite key, is throughout this whole session you haven't moved that rest at all. And I'm also looking at the size of the rest. I mean, most people I see tend to use something like this when they're feeder fishing.
Yeah.
Your rest is quite elongated.
It's quite simple, really. It's like, don't get me wrong, I love that rest, right? I like that rest. I tend to use that one mainly in the summer when I'm casting to one spot and I'm wanting to come into the area. But because I'd have to keep changing the angle of it all the time, because I'm casting there, and there.
And that's not going to allow you to do that.
And it's not going to allow me to do it. So when I'm casting down there, I can put it on the outer one.
Yeah.
When I'm casting in the middle, I can put it on that.
Yeah.
And then if I have to cast up there, I can put it on that one, because I'm always getting the pull.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to point the rod at the fish. There you go.
Yeah.
That's in the new spot, that.
New spot.
And I've even moved the rod for that.
So that was first cast to a new spot about 2 metres away from the previous spot.
That's got me at Reeds, that.
So they've moved up the bank, basically.
So they moved up the bank, yeah. One of the things I do, I always tie my hooks at home, and I always tie them to, this time it's to 30 centimetres or a foot. And because sometimes it needs to be that long.
Yeah.
But I always measure, like at the moment I think, like what's about 180 mil or 7 inches is about best. I don't know why.
Yeah. So having them at a foot long gives you the option to cut them back.
It cuts them back, so I don't have to make 2 and 3 lots up, because I hate tying hooks.
Yeah.
It's my pet hate. It's tying hooks.
Just talk to me about the attachment of the bait as well. I noticed you got a band on there.
Yeah.
Is it mostly band fishing for you, or?
Yeah, because what I do, if I'm fishing like, if I put a band on, I can put a natural pellet on.
Yeah.
And what I do with, like, I use these a lot. I use them sinkers, the 6mm sinkers. But what I do, they're actually quite soft. So what I do, I harden them up. I just take the lid off and leave them on shelf at home for a couple of weeks, and they get tough.
Dry. Yeah. Okay.
And then what I can do then is I can put one of them on, or I can put a natural pellet on. And the fact that you're feeding natural pellets means that you can swap between the two.
Okay.
Because you're feeding natural pellets, you can bet your bottom dollar that's what you'll catch them on.
Now, I know we talked about colours earlier, and we were saying about yellow. And then you said to me, well, yeah, but there's 4 or 5 lakes I know if I go to it's yellow, but there's a couple of others and it's red. What about, what about other baits? Do you have a favourite winter bait?
No, I don't have nothing favourite in baits, because it's like I said, it's the fish that tell you, not what Tommy wants.
Yeah.
It's what the fish tell you, what they want. What we've got to do as fishermen is work out what the fish want, and that's what we have to do.
What they want and where they want it.
Exactly. And once you do that, you can fish for them. So that's what I've always said. The best anglers work out quickly what the fish want. So, like, I'm going to go back up that spot 2 yard a bit further than when I got them others. Now I'm just going to put it down, and I've still got the angle, and see if they've backed off again.
Okay.
And I'm going to pick my catty up. I'm not going to feed anything there. It's pretty obvious that they're not coming to feed, but later in the day they might. So I'm going to keep feeding that spot there and cast around.
Okay.
So when you say my favourite bait, I have, this time of the year when it's cold, I look at the colour of the water, and if it's clear, usually you can bet it'll be bread to start with, and then corn, and then maybe pellet. And if I go on this colour in it, it'll be pellet. Nearly 9 times out of 10, the colour of the water dictates how I'm going to start. Might not be how I finish, but certainly how I start. So the first thing is I go to a water and it's clear, I'll set bread up, and I'll always have a few casts with bread, and especially if I'm fishing for carp. And it's amazing, you'll cast in and it'll go dunk first cast, and you'll usually catch your breadfish early.
Okay.
And then
let's just stop on bread for a second.
Yeah.
So obviously, how are you fishing the bread? Is that going straight onto the hook? Is it going onto
it'll be on a hair rig.
right onto a hair?
So I've got my setup there. You always know when it's cold when this comes out, the winter. So I've got that with all different size punches.
Right. So it's a bread punch setup.
It's a
basically.
bread.
So little discs of
Yeah,
bread.
little-
And is that 1 disc, 2 discs, 3 discs?
Just depends. If I'm fishing for F1s, it might be, for example, it might be 2 or 3 of them,
Right.
smaller ones. And if I'm fishing for carp, it'll probably be 4 or
Bigger
5 of them, the bigger ones. So that like I had a cast the other day. I've still got a piece there. Look, that were a carp one.
Yeah.
And
Now, I mean that's quite a unique little bait for the winter, isn't it? Because of its buoyancy and its texture, that actually goes down quite slow, doesn't it? And
Well-
it allows them to potentially have a look at it and make a move on it if they want
I
to.
don't know what happens. All I know is I think they take it because they like the bread.
Right.
I think they like the flavour.
Don't think it's a visual thing.
And I don't one little bit. No, I
Not in
think
clear water.
no. I don't think one little bit. I think they like the taste of bread.
Yeah.
So all I'm going to do when I'm fishing, all I'm going to do is I'll get a slice of bread like that. The idea of this is that it just fits into the trays like that.
Yeah.
Just fits in the tray, and then whatever I'm fishing for, let's say carp, I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Press the punch so it compacts it.
Yeah.
That's so it's in there, and then all I do, I've got my hook length there with a quick stop on.
Right. So it's a hair rig with a quick stop.
So I've got a hair rig with a quick stop. So all I'm going to do then is put that in, get the bread, push it into the thing,
Yeah.
like that. Quick stop on the side, and there you go.
Yeah. Perfect.
And that'll swell up round the thing, and I'm just
Yeah.
going to cast that out. If I'm fishing for a carp, I'll cast that in, and usually it's an impact thing. So I'll start off with bread. If I see a carp top, I'll cast to it, and I'll try to find the location. I might have 3 or 4 casts, and if I don't get one early, I've done with it then.
Yeah.
And then I'll go, and then when I'm looking at other things, and I might start fishing corn then, and doing the same with corn, or just onto the pellets. So even when I'm fishing that though, I'm casting, I'll be still feeding one area with with pellets. That's really important, that.
Okay. All right. Well,
But bread is bread at the start. But when I look at the water, like I've come to this lake, and I'm looked at the water and thought it's not bread colour. It don't seem right to me.
There's still a little bit of colour in it.
It's still got a little bit of colour, and I always think when it's colour, you're better off with pellets.
Yeah.
And as soon as it goes clear, it'll be corn and bread. And instead of, in some spots then, instead of firing pellets in, I'll be firing corn in.
Right. Okay.
And I'm a big believer in it's quite simple in my eyes. I think they take corn because they want the corn, they take bread because they want bread, they want pellets because they want pellets. And it's for me, it's as simple as that. So instead of firing pellets in, what I'll be doing, I'll be putting corn in like that,
Yeah.
and I'll be firing corn in instead of pellets. And as soon as the fish want that, and the clearer it is, that's what it'll be. And then all of a sudden we'll come along, and it'll completely change, and it'll be bread's gone, corn's gone, and it'll be back to pellets. It's quite weird, but it's like I said, it don't bother me. I'm only interested in what the fish want. That's all I'm bothered about. And if the fish want corn, let them have it. If they want bread, let them have it. It's not about what I want, it's what they want.
Okay, doke. Wise words. So, as a newcomer coming into the sport, give me 5 musts for bomb and feeder fishing.
Right. Well, bomb fishing, they're both very similar, really. One is massive patience.
Yeah.
Right, patience to locate the fish and everything. You must have patience. Catapult, you've got to have the right catapult, and you've got to learn how to fire the bait in correctly to make the fish come to the noise. The bomb, don't use one too light, in my opinion. I understand that people like it to go plop like a pellet, but if you're firing pellets in anyway, it don't make any difference. I want a nice sized bomb where I can cast different spots all the time without whooshing it and things like that, because it's too light. I mean, I know people use like 5 and 6 gram olivettes as a bomb, and I'm like, I want something I can cast comfortably, so the right size bomb. Hook length is massive. For me, it's one of the most important things about getting the right hook length for the bait that you're using. And in the winter, for me, soft rods, little hooks are massive.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Massive.
Yeah.
But the number one thing is patience.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's a 6th.
Yeah.
Don't forget your flask.
Don't forget your flask. And on that note, my coffee's gone cold. Had a really enjoyable day. Learnt loads. Thanks very much, Tom. It's been superb. And to follow more about nitro equipment, Tom, and the other methods that some of our other team members use as well, log on to www.nitrofishing.com. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and check out our YouTube channel. Let's catch a few more. And
well, they've obviously
we'll
gone from that
soon.
spot. Let's find a new spot.
Yeah.